I'm Andrew Stevenson, and in today's video I'm going to show you, as promised, how to make a few puzzles for activity books. I'll just quickly set up the page, so inches, and I'm going to go 8.25 by 8.25, the margins on, and the blade. So we will be working with colour. Whoops, a daisy. Because it's a kids' activity book, really you should be, making it quite colourful, unless it's a colouring book. But this is not a colouring book. So because it's Easter, I've got a few Easter images there. Hen, rabbit, chicks, an egg and a flower. And there are a few simple games you can make using a few simple graphics and the pen tool and recolouring the characters. Now, although these are Easter images, you can do this with anything. It doesn't have to be Easter related. It could be, well, another holiday, Christmas, maybe. Could be sports people, sports figures, any sort of hobby, dinosaurs, anything. The first thing we're going to do is just set up a simple master page. So because this is going to be an Easter book, we're going to make it spring-like. So we'll be using greens and yellows and things like that. I want to add a little bit of a border to this top area of the page so we can put the title of the game in. And I could just draw a rectangle out, but I think that's a bit boring, so I'll use the pen tool and I'll use smart mode. Smart mode just adds the curves for you. In normal pen mode, you've got to drag these handles out and move them about and things like that. But in smart mode, you just click and it puts the bend in. So just a random line. I'll go around here and finish that off. And we will do the inside green. Let's move that in a bit because it's a bit too far down. Oh, maybe I'll make it blue instead. Make that as the sky. Why not? And at the bottom, I'll do the same again, but not as much. And again, just use it as green. You take your time over this. A shade darker. There you go. So sky, green, inside is where we're going to put the puzzles. So I'll just go to my pages. Page 1 we'll leave as blank for now. And I'll just add a couple of pages afterwards. So the first game we're going to do is a silhouette game. You've seen the idea. Images up here, silhouettes match the silhouette. And I'll just use the top 4 for now. Arrange it to the right size. And then I just want to space out equally across the page. There we go. So we need to make silhouettes of these and put them underneath in a different order. So I will copy and paste and drag that underneath. And now to turn this all black, we'll simply pull that across. And that's your silhouettes. All that's left to do is just rearrange these like that. And then to show what to do, again we'll grab the pen tool and we will go from the chicken down to there. We'll make that a bit bigger and maybe change it from black to maybe purple. No, any colour you fancy really. To a dark green. Make this line as smooth as possible. That's a bit wonky, but it'll do for illustration purposes. You can then, make this into a point. So you've got a triangle there. And that's simple. Then the child can continue matching the silhouettes. Now we'll just add a text box at the top to write the game. So match the shadows. We'll drop that size down to 50. Again, change your font, make it as Eastery as you can. You can also, if you wanted to, draw a rectangle around there, a different shade of green, maybe a light green, drag it to the bottom. There, it just gives it a bit more colour. I'll just take the outline of these just the outline of these shapes off, just because I don't like it. There we go, that's better. You could add some little, let's have a look, we've got some egg. You could add some flowers. Got some flowers about. You can also, of course, change the colour of these flowers, as we've mentioned before. Red. And change these bits into a purpley colour. You could add smaller versions of the Easter egg. Again, I'll get off the node tool. Just take your time. Made it nice. So that's one page. Very simple. Match the puzzles. Another one you can do is, let's see, we'll do a maze. And I'll just remove the outline from that rectangle. There we go. So on this side we will do a maze. And the idea of the aim of the maze is to get this chicken back to its parent. Over here, and I will flip that. So we'll get from there to there, and we will draw a maze. To do this, we'll use the pen tool. Again, we're in smart mode. And I'll just draw a very simple maze. There we go. So I'll change the width of that line to, we'll try 20 for now. And then I'm going to Control J to duplicate it. And I will change this one to size 40. And I'm going to change the stroke to a browny colour. But one that doesn't look too much like feces. We'll do it like that for the minute. I'll just move this curve, the brown curve, under the white one, and I will change the white colour to more of a golden yellow. Again, take your time, get these curves smooth. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a very easy puzzle, and you're right. So we're going to add some more bits to it. Get the pen tool again, and we will draw the bit that goes down there, bit that goes down there, so that's a bit more challenging. And then I will again, I'll duplicate that one, Control J, and for the duplicate I'll change the stroke to filthy brown. Make sure you select on outline, and then I will change the outline to that filthy brown colour. I'll change the original yellow size down to 20, and then again drag that there. The dark ones need to go at the bottom. So again, we'll change that colour to the dirty one. I will Control J to duplicate. Change the duplicate down to size 20. And give it a nice yellow. And again, and that's your simple map. Again, you could add the green background. So another thing we can do to smarten this up is to add a circle here and there to make it clear what the goal is. Just to highlight the goal. That's okay there. I'll have one there. And that's okay there. I will give it the same dark stroke as the map. So stroke brown and new stroke brown. Now I'm just going to bring the chicken and the chick to the front of the picture again. So we're going to arrange, move to the front. And that's it. That's a simple map. I've used Easter images because this is an Easter themed book. You use whatever you fancy. Again, put the title here. Help the chick find its way home. So we'll change the size to 50, too big, 30, just right. Now, before I get any grammar Nazis on, it's with an apostrophe is for it is. Occasionally, well, commonly, apostrophes are also possessive. So its way home is the chick's way home, but the rule is different for the word it. That's why English is such a wonderful language. So that's two very simple games you can make with the same assets using recolor and simple pen tools. I hope I've explained it adequately. Other games you can play are things like find the identical bunny. So let's copy that bunny and paste it a few times. So the idea is to find the identical bunny. All you've got to do is go in and make small changes to this bunny. So we'll delete the inner ear of that one. Maybe give this one a different coloured nose. So I was changing the outline there. Give it the dirty brown nose. Take a little part of the bow. And then on this one, he could be evil and just take away the stripes off his trousers. And now you've got to find the two identical bunnies, which are those two. And that's not a bad game to play. You can make it more difficult by adding more bunnies. Let's make these a bit bigger. So find the two identical bunnies. Again, colour the background as you wish. Add your title. So that's 3 games there. You can obviously repeat this identical bunnies using other images. You can have a game like this match the silhouette game, but have things like, oh, I've lost my chicken. You could copy this match the shadows game, and instead of having shadows here, you could have things that the animal eats. What do eggs eat? I don't know. Don't use an egg in that case. Use something else. You could have a little lamb and eating grass. You could have a rabbit and carrots. A hen and seeds. Any sort of matching thing you can think of. In the maze games, you can add little points along the way. So help the chick to find its way home. And then you could have and collect all of the eggs, we'll call them. In that case, you just grab an egg. Just grab an egg and drop it somewhere on the map. Bring that to the front. So whoever does the map has to go, they've got to pass this point. You can't just go around there. You've got to collect the eggs on the way around. You could have many eggs. You could have more dead ends by using the technique we made to have roots, just to drop a few extra lines here and here. You could have a maze with eggs, and inside the eggs are numbers, and they've got to go around and say 1 to 10. They've got to find the eggs marked 1 to 10. And that follows the routes. You could have decoy eggs in there, as long as there's a route to get from 1 to 10. So it's all about using your imagination. You can even, there's no reason why you couldn't do a snakes and ladders sort of game. put a 10 by 10 table in, make it square, and then you could have like a little board game, have eggs to collect along the way, roll dice, things like that. I will just quickly, seeing as I'm here, try and make a board game. We'll go 5 by 5. I'll open my table tool, select all of my whatchamajigs, and we will change the height by, so this is 8 inches. If we change the height to, is 1 inch too much? 1 inch by 1 inch. Excellent, we'll probably do that a bit more really. But I want to leave that for the minute. 1 inch by 1 inch. That's your basic board game. And then you could fill these squares in with numbers. Let's have a look. Starting off at the bottom. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know how to count. And then have an end point up here, an end goal, maybe a basket full of eggs, and this could be 2 kids trying to get the eggs. It would be this area here. It would end. You could have little pitfalls like ladders, things like that for them to fall down. You could colour the cells in by going into the table tool. And changing the colour so they look more appealing than just having white ones. That sort of thing, all the way up to what's that, 25? And then just add your legs, add your flowers, and whoever gets to the end with the most eggs win. Something like that. You've just got to use your imagination and do it to the best of your ability. I have dashed through most of these games, but with these games you can reuse them. So that's four different types of game. You could reuse them and make slightly different versions. So for the maze game, you could have the egg collecting game. You could have the counting numbers game. You could have it to spell out a word, maybe. Say, if it's Easter, they've got to follow the route that finds Happy Easter around here. And it could be, you're throwing decoys on the way around, so it could be like, almost happy there, but not quite. And then you could reuse, so say that's 3 or 4 different types of maze game I've just told you there. Then you could reuse those 3 or 4 types 3 times in the same book, using different animals, different words to spell, different numbers to count, and pretty soon you get your 10 pages per puzzle type. It'll get your page numbers up to a nice amount that implies value, because you don't want to charge £8 for a book and only give them 10 pages or 20 pages. Not that you can in KDP, of course, because there are limitations on the page number. And then, because these are just generic puzzles, you can use these puzzles in other books. So this is Easter, like I said. You can do a sport one, you could do a Christmas one, you could do any sort of hobby one. If the kids are into flowers, make a flower book. Nature, have insects, wildlife. Use the same format and repeat the ideas, making little tweaks here. Even the board game, you don't even have to have it in this grid formation. You could do it in the, and you could do it across the double page as well, of course, which I will here. You could do it like this, And also be imaginative. If this background's green, you could, so all this is green, like the grass, you could turn this into a path colour. And not a colour like, poo. And then instead of, so we're making, so it looks like a maze game, but we are going to be making a board game like that. We'll just grab a circle and put them there, and there, and there. Put your numbers inside of these circles, and it's technically the same sort of game, but it looks different. And that's your goal there. Add numbers to these. You've got yourself a dice game. Again, you could add little pitfalls. You could add ladders that take you down from right near the end to there. Or if you want to be cruel, right down to the third stopping space. Now, obviously, these games do need dice. You can't provide dice with your game. But you could have a page that is made for cutouts. So you could have this page here could be used for, let's see, is there a exit? Only use a polygon. You could make a spinner. Put your numbers round here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and tell the kids to cut that out. Stick a cocktail stick through it, and you've got yourself a spinner. And if you're doing that, you might as well add other little markers. You could make little, you could put your little eggs. You could have a page full of these little eggs. Do them in different colours. Get the kids to cut them out. Encouraging scissor skills, which is always nice. And then you could use those on these board games. The kids could decide where the eggs are, same as up here or along here. They can decide how many eggs go where. Change the colour of the eggs, of course, don't have them all one colour. You could also make little tokens for the, do I want to use the word player avatar? I'm going to. You could have little player avatars here which they can cut out and use as their pieces on this board when they're moving around. There's loads of things you can do. It's a world of possibilities. You can hit any niche that's suitable for an activity book. Generally, it's going to be aimed at kids. So you're down the animal route sort of thing, or holidays, Christmas, Easter. Sports. Could you do a food one? I don't know. And again, another one, I forgot the most basic maze one, is so you're going to use a similar layout to this, but you have one central character, say the chick, the hen down the bottom, and then you have which route takes the hen to the chicken or the chicken to the hen, whatever. So if you would have the chicken at the top, and I'm using chicken and hen indiscriminately here. From now on, I'll call this a chicken and this a chick. You could have the chicken at the top of the page and loads of different routes coming down, and then have the chick underneath one of those routes. You know what I mean? So you'll have like a maze with 5 exit points. One of the points will be the chick at the bottom. The rest of them, you can leave them blank or put some sort of horror there, like a fox or something. So that is it for today's video. I hope you found it useful. Again, if I haven't explained things properly, please do leave a comment. This is the 5th or 6th day of making videos in a row. I mean, mine's getting a little bit bad. So, but I will stick with it. I will do it tomorrow as well. So yeah, so I may be going through things a bit quickly, or things that I assume that you know, and perhaps you don't, or maybe I'm just not that good at getting my ideas across, like trying to explain chickens and hens and apostrophes. So thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like and comment on the videos, and hopefully you find this useful. This is, what's that, like 5 or 6 puzzles you made there. You can edit them slightly. You can get a bookload of them, and then you can do them in any niche. Underwater would be a good one. You know, all of these puzzles could be underwater themes. But that's it, I'm blabbering. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you tomorrow.